Hello everyone and welcome to the flyover for the Cave Run Classic. My name's Kyle Holt.
And my name's Harrison Adams, and we'll be doing the voiceover for today. This video is brought to you by Morehead State Disc Golf, Bomb Discs, and presented to you by Millennium Discs.
Alright, hole 1 is a 192 foot par 3. It's relatively tight, about halfway through the fairway, and my play is to throw just a putter or mid-range.
My play is to throw a forehand chip shot to about circle's edge and just give yourself a putt from there.
Alright, moving on to hole 2, we have a 200 foot par 3. It plays more like 250 or 260 with a slight uphill grade. There's a tree in the middle of the fairway. You have to decide whether to go inside of or outside with a small hyzer, keeping it straight. Up towards the green here, you'll see we have a beautiful tree blocking the basket. Adds a little difficulty on the green. And this is another birdie hole.
Alright, next we have hole 3. It's a pretty long par 3. It's about 412 feet. My play here is to throw just a straight, kind of wide forehand. Once you get to this corner up here and kind of crest the hill, you'll see it goes downhill, and the basket's down here on your right. The play is really try to get a skip to jump into circle 1 or circle 2, but it's a really tough hole and going to be a stroke separator.
Hole 4, you have a tree immediately off the tee that you have to beat. It's a relatively small gap, but shouldn't be a problem for most people. As you crest the hill, you have a telephone pole to contend with, and the landing zone is up to the left. If you want to go big, you can. It opens up once you get on top of the hill, and the basket is perched on a slope that goes down to the road. Hole 5 is a short par 3 with 2 routes. First, we're going to show you the backhand route. It's a smooth hyzer that you have to beat a late tree to get onto the green.
Now we're going to look at the forehand route. This route's pretty much just a straight kind of hyzering shot. You want to, like I said, I want to keep it pretty flat and straight and just skip up somewhere into circle 1. It's a pretty gettable hole. We have hole 6. There are 2 routes in this hole. We have the backhand route that's being flown over right now, and then actually right off the tee there's a little bit of a forehand route that I usually take. But again, a very short hole and very gettable. Should be a birdie for most people.
Hole 7 is a dead straight 178 foot par 3. It plays more like 220 to 240, and you can throw your straightest disc off the tee to get a birdie. The green's relatively open. There's one log up on the green that can stop a slide up, but other than that, it's a straightforward hole.
We're going to be playing the right tee pad on hole 8, and so this flyover, it's like a forehand flex shot or just pretty much a dead straight backhand shot and try to get through some of those tiny gaps. But once you get to the green, it's pretty open. Shouldn't have any problem with anything in your way, but it's another birdie hole.
Moving on to hole 9, this is one of the signature holes. You tee from the top of the dam using the whole fairway off to the right. You want to try to beat the tree line and end up down in the flat somewhere. Like I said, this is 790 feet, so two 400-foot shots will get you a birdie putt. And this is one of the tougher holes on the course.
Alright, next we have hole 10. This is probably the most straightforward hole on the course. It's literally dead straight, 330 feet. A little bit uphill at first. I think it ends up flattening out, but there's plenty of room to work whatever you want to in, and just it's another good birdie look.
Hole 11 is one of my favorite holes out on the Cave Run course. It's a 530 foot par 4 that you have options off the tee. You want to beat this small tree on the right here and land in the cut grass. From there you're going to throw a hyzer around this big evergreen and try to beat these trees, just like the drone's trying to do right now. If you do that, you'll have a birdie look from circle's edge or closer. If not, you'll end up in circle 2 with a long jump putt. This is also one of the signature holes on the course.
Alright, next we have hole 12. Again, it's about 330 feet, par 3. It plays a tad bit longer because if you throw a forehand, it's not a lot of room to flex it. You have to throw on a hyzer the whole time or a backhand turnover. but the creek on the left is not where you want to be. Some very thick trees over there, and so you want to stay in the grass, but it is a birdieable hole if you throw the right shot.
Hole 13, we're back in the woods again. This is a 168-foot par 3. It's a chip forehand hole. You can throw it backhand, but it gets a little tight on the left side. The green's relatively open with a couple small trees to make the putt difficult. Other than that, this is another birdie hole. You'll see the basket up on the right here, and a couple small trees to beat on the green.
Okay, now we have hole 14. This is a tighter tee shot. I throw a forehand here, and you really have to throw at these 3 trees it's going straight at and hope to miss them, and then kind of hyzer out. Basket's up here on the right, but the green is open, and it's really not that tough of a shot, but there's a line there you have to hit.
Hole 15 is one of the trickier holes on the course, listed as a par 3, and there is a route inside to the right here that you can take to get a birdie look. Other than that, you're looking to get your 3 by chipping around this corner, taking this right side gap where the drone's flying now with a little chip shot to take your 3. This is not a birdie hole.
Now we have hole 16, 320 feet, par 3. It's straight down this road. The basket's going to be up here on the left, about 10 feet off the road. This is a pretty tough hole. You just have to, again, throw your straightest disc in your bag and then hope it rests on the road and just nestles in somewhere to circle 1 and give yourself a putt for a 2.
Hole 17 is our last signature hole on the course. It's listed as 670 par 4. You're going to go left of these trees or over them if you have the arm. You're going to try to land in the cut grass and have an upshot to the basket. Ideally, you're going to have less than 300 feet to the basket once you throw your tee shot because the elevation is quite downhill. But this is a gettable par 4, and it's also a pretty view.
All right, hole 18, last one on the course. So this is probably one of the toughest holes on the course. You can see there's a fallen tree down on your left, but that should be up here pretty soon. But it's a very tight gap off the tee, and the play really is just to get out somewhere in this open grass, and then after that you'll have about 180 feet into the basket. But this hole is not birdieable for most, and a par is a great score.
To wrap it up, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out to the Cave Run Classic. We understand the course isn't in its final form, but we've been working hard for 2 years to try to get it where it is today. We're going to keep making improvements and make the course better for this tournament year in and year out.